Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste, dear friends of Bhakti Channel. This is Vito De Grandi introducing our beloved friend Guru Bhai Vivek Bharat Gaur from Rishikesh. Today we'll have a satsanga about Guru. Guru has so many meanings in India, and we have learned Guru from many sides in the Europe, in the world. And now let's offer our pranams to our beloved Shamacharan Lahiri Messiah and to Mother Divine in the form of the Chandi. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Matri Rupena Sanstitam Namastasya 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Sanstitam Namastasya 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstitam Namastasya 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 Namo Namah. Sarva Mangala Mangale Shive Sharvat Sadike Sharange Tamake Gauri Narayani Namostute Shishti Stiti Vinashanam Sakti Bhute Sanatani Gunasraye Guna Maye Narayani Namostute Shanagat Dinart Haritran Parayani Sarvasyarte Hare Devi Narayani Namostute. Friends of Bhakti Channel, we are here with Vivek Bharat Gaur. We are all friends. We know each other since probably 25 years. He lives in Ganga Vihar, Goyal Gati, Rishikesh. He is founder, secretary, chief coordinator of Bharat Heritage Services, director of his holistic healing center. He has originally started his career as entrepreneur, engineer, and then he became a yoga master, speaker, spiritual healer, and he has been traveling the world. You can get in touch with Vivek Ji through his phone 98370890079 or via email gypsytt@yahoo.com. We are gathering today because we are very fond to know from Vivek Ji what is the approach towards the gurus. The gurus, we have many. So let's start with the basic.
Well, very much thank you to you to give me this opportunity to come and meet the love of the Bhakti channel of your Italy and all over the world. People are having different views for this Bhakti channel, and this subject of Guru is very misunderstood. Last time also we talked about it, and now again you have the same topic because it's not very easy to just finish in less time. So here we are again to talk about the concept of the Guru or the understanding of a Guru or need of a Guru or something like this. So very first the meaning of the word Guru. Guru means darkness to lightness. Tamso ma jyotirgamay. Take me from darkness to lightness. Darkness is what? Ignorance, not knowing. And lightness is what? The knowledge. So one who take you from darkness to lightness, from ignorance to knowledge, is known as Guru. General understanding of Guru is like a teacher also. That whoever is teaching you something, but if you go deeper meaning, deeper understanding of the word Guru, the literary word, the Sanskrit word Guru, then it means one who bring you from darkness to lightness. As they say, take me from darkness to lightness, ignorance to knowledge. So one who show you the path of the knowledge, that is called Guru. In India, Guru is regarded on a very high level. Somewhere they say that गुरु गोविंद दो खड़े काके लागो पाए, बलिहारी गुरु आपने गोविंद दियो बताए. One of the such importance of word guru, this verse depict the importance of a guru in India. So what he says that in India, whenever we respect someone, we go down, touch the feet. You know this because you have been to India many times and following the Bhakti Marga. So whenever you meet someone respected, somebody who is a teacher or a Baba or a saint or person to whom you respect, either it is he may be younger than you in age, but on a relation or in a particular position, he may be higher than you. Or you just want to respect to someone, you go down and touch the feet. This is a tradition in India. So this person says that my Lord, my God, or divine, and my teacher, my Guru, both are standing in front of me. See, my Lord, God, divine, to whom you pray, worship, and my Guru, both are standing in front of me. So I have to go down to both of them. But to whom should I go down first? Whom? Because I have to go down to the God, Lord, divine also, and I have to go down to my teacher also because they are standing in front of me. But to whom I should go down first? So he says, I should go down first to my Guru. My Guru has shown me the path to the divine, path to the Lord, path to the God. So Guru comes on that level here, in real sense, in real meaning. And that we have seen when we travel in India, or even people come, Indian people come here and come and try learn with us how they behave with us when we are teaching them and sharing some of our knowledge or something, whatever we know, how we behave. That is because this is the cultural impression, the sanskara of Indian people. We do not expect this from everyone and anyone, but most of the people who follow, who believe in this traditional Indian cultural sanskar, they do it.
Yes, brother. I have so many questions about the Western approach, as you know, and we have shared in the past few times this concept. The Western people have a bit of resistance to approach a guru. They think that the guru wants to get the mind, the guru wants to get the money, the guru wants to manipulate the devotee. Please tell us and clear out this matter, which is very important for the Western approach of the devotee.
You see, it's not about only Western approach. If anyone has more knowledge than you, then he or she has the ability to manipulate you. It is as simple as this. So if you are going to go to a guru or to a person and you think that this person is having the ability to manipulate you, it means that your intellect is less than the intellect of this person. So before surrendering to a guru, go, ask, question, doubt, interact, and then use your intellect. If somebody come to me and I say something to this person, I am not asking, okay, you just believe me 100% blindly, completely. I am asking, you doubt me, you question me, you interact with me. You are not agree with some of my idea, you interact with me. It's not important, or it's not that you have to agree with each and every idea of mine. But if you have every person has their own intellect. And if my intellect is more than your intellect, then definitely you are going to listen to me, going to follow to me. Or if any knowledge or if any information or if anything I can give you, and you give me that authority, that okay, this person can tell me about this. Suppose authority is important. So who give authority? You give. Unless you don't give authority to this person cannot do anything to you. Suppose today I want to come to Paruja. One thing is that I don't ask you anything. I know you are my friend, you live there, you are from there. I had visited you there also. I know thereabout of yours, but still I don't ask you how to come to Paruja, how to reach to your house and this, and I just Google it out and ask someone else who also live in Paruja or this and that. So it means that I am not giving you that authority. I am not believing you that much. I am believing on other sources. So it is for me. And then after when I reach, then I get some kind of disturbance or some kind of problem in reaching you. Then you say, "Oh, Vivek, you could ask me. You know me. You didn't ask me. You didn't ask me because I didn't give you the authority that you guide me for this."
Acha.
But now, and personally, what I do is, wherever I travel, I have friends like you, or student, or somebody, or some people who know me. I just surrender to them. I don't Google, I don't do this. I say, okay, I am coming at this place. How to reach? They tell me, take this bus, this, and oh, I don't know because this is in Italian language or French language is written. I can't do my booking and all and this. Okay, we do for you. Fine. I surrender. They do my booking. They pick me up. They drop me. So I am totally free. So when I surrender myself to somebody, then I have less effort to make. So if somebody is surrendering to some person to whom they think maybe their guru or a guide or a mentor or a can give them some knowledge or some information or something, then they are free also. So either you make your own effort and waste time in it, or either you give an authority and surrender to somebody who already worked on it, who is intelligent than you at least in that particular thing, or keep digging yourself. So it is up to us. If you want, okay, now I come to you, you say no, and you give me wrong information. You give me wrong information, then it is also my fault. Is it also my fault? It is not my fault. It is not my fault. Maybe out of some other thing you have given me wrong information, or maybe by intention you want to manipulate me, so you give me wrong information or something. That I need to understand. Maybe not that time and later. So I can withdraw anytime. I can withdraw the given authority to you anytime. Who is asking to get manipulated and manipulated and manipulated? It means you are not using your own intellect.
You think the guru presence is important to have further progress in the spiritual life for everybody?
Please ask again.
It is.
Again, please ask again.
Do you think that it is important for everybody to have a guru for a progressing the spiritual life?
You see, when you drive the car and you want to go to an unknown road, unknown place, and you have no idea about that place. What do you do?
I ask around.
Either you ask around old method, then you have maps. You can follow the map if you are able to read the map.
Huh.
Nowadays, very easy GPS in the car or in the phone. And in GPS, there is a sound which nobody knows. You never met this person who is speaking in the GPS and telling you turn left, turn right, 100 meter this, and then roundabout, first turn. And you just follow. You just follow, having that belief that this GPS will take you to your destination. So you have that trust in this GPS or this machine or this voice. So GPS is what Guru positioning system. Guru positioning system. So same way, if you are going to an unknown terrain, unknown path on spirituality or in life or in finances or in money or in relationship or in anything, and there is a GPS available to you, so why not to take help of a GPS?
Justo. Right.
If you have a GPS to whom you can trust, if you have a person to whom you can trust, give authority. Okay, you take me.
Cha.
Why not? Why not? And if not, then sit yourself, take a guidance, and then your inner teacher, inner guru will come in front of you and will guide you. But that needs more and more effort, where we are not ready, for which we are not ready.
That is true. That is fully true. When I have seen the Indian way of life, and particularly the approach of the Indian devotee and the approach of the Western devotee, you are far more ahead of the Western approach because you are aware totally of the fact that we are not ready. Indians know there is a huge distance between guru and shishu, guru and disciple. But the Western, they just go for 2, 3, 5 satsanga. Oh, they think they are a guru. Isn't it?
Yes, it is like this. Any time when I travel and I give my programs or group programs or some classes or this, and sometimes some people start following me. They say me, oh, I find my guru and this and that, and they take my photo and put in their room and kind. I say, oh, stop this. Don't do this. Don't see me like a guru, because your guru is within you. Yes, you will ask me some question. I will try to answer in my best capacity. You ask me some doubt, I will try to clear your doubt in my capacity. If you think that what I am trying to tell you, if it is making a sense to you, follow it. But use your intellect. I always ask people to use their own intellect, not just following blindly to anybody. Your guru may be a book. Your guru may be a person. Your guru may be your inner self, which is available to everyone. Whenever we are going to do anything wrong, kind of wrong, maybe telling a lie, maybe stealing, which is socially worldwide accepted formula of Yama, social discipline. Whenever you are going to break that social discipline, your inner voice stop you once. You ignore it because you are not connected with it. We are not connected with it. But if you are connected with your inner voice, then that is the best guru for you.
That is the Adi
But
Guru.
yes, but how many of us are connected with it? That is the question.
Can you tell me about the concept of surrender, which is very important to have a relationship with Sri Guru?
The concept of surrender means no doubt afterwards. I always say to people that if you want to surrender to somebody, don't just go and surrender like this. Before surrendering, ask question, doubt the person, interact with the person. And once you see, oh yes, this person is able to guide me, then go for surrender. Then take the decision to surrender. And once you take the decision of surrender, then no question asked. Then you don't need to use your intellect. You keep your intellect backstage. That time, your guru is saying, no, this is night. Either it is a daytime. You say, okay, my guru is saying it is night, it is night. That is surrender complete. Then you don't say, no. Yes, then you don't say, no, Guru, this is daytime. Why are you saying it is night time? You don't ask the question then. You ask question before surrendering. And after your Guru say wrong, rubbish things to you, just follow it. And if you start doubting, no, my Guru is always misguiding me, is manipulating me. Okay, stop. Stop there. Come out of surrendering. Use your intellect then. If you start, this question start coming. Who is asking you to still follow, even, and then later you blame the guru, later you blame the other person, oh, this person manipulated me, this and that, because most of the time these people are emotionally weak.
That is
the point, because they are in the vulnerable position. And when you are in a very vulnerable position, maybe you just had a breakup, or maybe you just had a job loss, or maybe you just lost somebody in life, and so you're emotionally weak. And at that time, in this kind of time, it's very easy for a person to manipulate you. If this person has that ability, it's very easy to manipulate you. So this happens sometimes.
For example,
but if you are going to surrender, doubt it. And now today there are so much information. People already have that information. I can go to somebody to surrender with that prejudiced information. So according to this, I ask question, this person, how this person answer, how this person behave, how this person interact. That gave me an idea, oh, this person can guide me further from here or not. Sometimes some people ask me question when they come to learn something with me, they want to ask question. I answer, I keep answering them in mails or messages, and sometimes there are too many questions or too many things. It's not possible by, I said, okay, come, have interaction. And then after, you decide. You decide afterwards. You want to follow, you want to learn the same thing with me, or there are so many other people. Go and follow, find yourself. What can I say? But if you are going to follow to me, then you have to listen to me the way I am asking you to do, the way I am telling you to do. And if you have any question and doubts, I will try to clear it out.
Yeah, this surrender. I want to ask you, Vivekji, about guru and money. Many guru are free of this relationship, but many others, as we have seen on the scene since the 60s, starting from Osho and Sai Baba and many others, a lot of money are pouring to the ashrams or whatever we may call devotees donate properties, and then from there, so many problems have been engaged because, as you know, not everybody is happy of this. How do you explain this?
Yes, this is one other question many people have in mind, that gurus should not have the money or should not have the so many things or so much wealth or something. But this is not a correct understanding, I think. I think if you go on the path of spirituality and become rich, externally rich. Now we are talking about externally rich, but you are saying the money, the externally rich means you have fancy cars, you have helicopters standing next to you, you have a big city kind of ashram, or very huge building, too many followers, too many people are following you. What is the problem in it? If you are on that level, you can affect more people. You can send if how many people are listening to us. But if this will on a star news will be there, then this will be telecasted to maybe 1,000 people. So maybe more and more people can benefited by that. But that is being the externally rich. But that's not enough. If you can be externally rich and internally rich at same time, what is problem in it? By going on that path of spirituality, you have the financial success. So maybe just because of that, maybe many people start following that path. And about the money, number one thing to understand that spiritual progress only that person can have who has all the basic needs established. So if you are still struggling to pay your bill, still struggling to eat in the night, how can you talk about the spirituality? You cannot, and you cannot progress it. So people who come to have the path, to on the path of spiritual progress or spirituality, they are only, those people are only successful who have everything in balance, in moderation, which is the basic need to live in this world. And for that you need some money. For that you need some money. So if you have the money, then you fulfill all your need and then you want to progress from there. If there is a labor class person, every day eating and every day earning, can you talk about guru or can you talk about the spirituality to this person? He say, oh, first let me work. I have to earn for this 1 hour of talking. I will take, and then in the evening I will feed to my family. He will not do this, not be able to do it. So money and spirituality goes together. And also, when any person is giving you the time, they say time is money. Time is money. So this person is giving you time. Any person who is giving you time is giving that wealth to you, which is never ever going to come back to him or her. That money he is giving to you. If time is money, he is giving you that money on basis of his experiences, for which maybe he has also expended some physical money to learn, to go here, there, and knowledge and experiences, and now you are just getting it right away. So why it should be given it free? Because free means exchange of energy. It's not only about the euro, dollar, or rupees, but it may be exchange of energy. Of exchange of energy, the easiest form today is the money. the physical money, the euro, the dollar, the rupees, or something like this currency. So people give this. People give this, and it's okay, because by this you can do many things. You can affect many people, more and more people. If some people reach on that level, if you are talking about Osho, all the world talk about Osho. Why? If he will be sitting in a cave in a Himalaya and doing his own sadhana, who will be talking about him?
Very good.
But he came out in the public, many people follow, and then they follow, and then they understood that money doesn't buy happiness. But listen to this person, give me happiness. Sitting with this person, give me happiness. So they want to surrender all their wealth or money or whatever they have, because that for which we are struggling, a normal person is struggling, they all have this. You see, who was Buddha? Prince, who has all the abundance and left because he has seen all that and not happy there. If you see many big gurus, they were very super rich before they become guru, because they find out that money is not giving happiness. But sitting with this person, listening to this person, doing something with this person, spending time with this person, talking to this person, or giving me more happiness, more calmness, more peacefulness. So money left behind, and whatever money left behind is of no use. Money only which you can expend is for you. The money that is only for you, work which you can expend. If you have some money left in your bank account, today you are no more, tomorrow someone else is going to use that money.
Very good.
Either maybe your son, maybe your wife, your family, or XYZ, whoever it is, but it may be someone else, not you. So expend it. But what you said that when money comes and then problem comes and this, yes, when money comes, it comes with all of its modifications. So at that time, it is for this person to cut all those modifications and only use money for the immediate purpose to which it can, solve the purpose to. Because if some people, more than 1,000 people are coming to you, you need to arrange their bed, you need to arrange their toilets, you need to arrange the electricity, basic need. For that, you need money. So I don't see any problem in it, but I see the person should be internally rich and externally rich at same time.
Thank you very much. It is wonderful, your explanation, my brother. I have to remember you guys, if you want to get in touch to Vivek Bharat Gaur, you can visit his website of Bharat Heritage Services. Is located in Rishikesh, Uttarakhand, and you can send email to him, gypsytt@yahoo.com. I am very pleased to have satsanga with you, Vivekji, and hope to see you again on this channel.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity and sharing your idea, platform, and wisdom with the people. And I hope people like it, and if they have any question and doubt or something, they can get back to you or me, and we can always answer them and try to, interact with them if they need, because we are here just to share whatever we know. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.